Welcome, FNews57 here. Once again, we're back on Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Today I have a very detailed, awesome video for you, so please have fun. Now, what this is going to be over is the PAP 4 glitch, or how to do 400% more damage in zombies with any ballistic weapon. I covered this yesterday, and I've received a lot of feedback on folks having some unexpected issues with it. So I'm going to break it down as slowly as possible so that you can do this and hopefully nobody will have any issues. Link in the description to my previous video if you need the Reader's Digest version. So basically what this allows you to do is bring a third weapon in. It's basically a mule kit glitch. It allows you to replace your melee weapon with a normal firearm or launcher. However, some folks have been having difficulties with this. So we're going to go through and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And then I'm going to explain the different things that people have had issues with and how to correct them. We'll do it sort of like a Q&A. All right, so you can see this is still working. I got my class set up here. It's 3:30 in the morning, Monday morning, while I'm doing this recording. And this is where one of the things can get a little bit messed up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to reset this to default as if I had never done this at all. All right, I'm starting off default so that you guys can see exactly what we're doing here. In order to do this, we first need a weapon, just any weapon as our placeholder primary weapon. And then we need to make sure that the weapon that we are going to bring in is going to be one that we can actually edit. So, to clear up the first bit of confusion in the comment section, the attachments that you can bring into the game will be the attachments that are on the blueprint by default. This works with all blueprints from the shop. This works with all blueprints from the Battle Pass, and it does work on all platforms, including old-gen and new-gen consoles. So, if we look at the gunsmith for the weapon that I used in the video, the Tide Turner blueprint, this is the GS45, and you'll notice that it has a red dot sight, suppressor, long barrel, and quick draw grip. Unfortunately, if I edit this blueprint to equip any other specific mods, say I wanted to bring in a Kimbo, or I wanted to have extended mags 2 on here. While I can edit the blueprint that way, however, I cannot bring those attachments in. Only the attachments that are on the blueprint by default will be the attachments that come into the game with you. So just bear that in mind. And if you're unsure if a blueprint has certain attachments by default because you've modified it, you can always go in and reset that blueprint to default, which will then show you just the default skin for the weapon and its default attachments. All right, so now that we have that set up, what we're going to do is we're going to start off from the beginning, just so that you know what to do. So we'll take a random weapon as our placeholder weapon, and we are going to begin to do the mule kit glitch. You will do this first by selecting your knife, just the regular knife, as long as the blueprint has been modified once in the past. You could use an attachment or a camo. You will have the option to press build options and go down to duplicate. Selecting that will give you a duplicate of the knife. Equip that duplicate. Now back out without doing anything else from the zombies lobby entirely. Go into a multiplayer lobby, and if you're trying to use a locked blueprint, you will need to do a private game. Go to your first custom loadout, so you will need to be at least level 4 to do this, and then go over to the knife slot. Select the knife, select the category, and instead of equipping, pull up build options on your knife duplicate. Go down to delete and remove that blueprint entirely. Do not select anything else. Simply back out, and if you wish to bring in a primary weapon, then you will need to select the primary weapon slot. If you wish to bring in a pistol or launcher, you will need to select the secondary weapon slot. We will be doing this again with the GS45, so we'll select the secondary weapon slot, select our Tide Turner, which since I previously had modified it, we do have the build option, and we will go to duplicate, select the duplicate, and we will equip the duplicate. At this point, now we go and back out completely from the multiplayer lobby, load back up zombies, and if we go to our loadout, you will see that we have our random placeholder weapon, and we have our Tide Turner duplicate for the GS45 equipped, and it has the base blueprint attachments. Unfortunately, attachments that are added to a base blueprint or a blueprint that is player created, you're only going to get the basic weapon. So right now we can go ahead and actually go into the match, which I will do just to show you that we do have those. And this works in squad games or solo games. As you can see at the start of the match, I have my primary weapon, and if I hold the button to pull out my melee weapon, instead of a melee, I have the pistol with only one magazine of ammo. Now, in order to activate the actual damage glitch, we would need to buy Mele Macchiato, which means we're going to have to play through a little bit of the game in order to have enough points to go buy Mele Macchiato. Obviously, in my previous video, I showed that this damage glitch does work. So now I'm going to clear up one of the other things that should be relatively easy, but unfortunately a few folks have struggled with this. So I did mention a pro tip where you could get cheap ammo, and it worked with the wall buy weapons. That does in fact work, but I will show you two things that can muck that up and can muck up this whole thing with you actually losing your Pack-a-Punch 4 weapon. So, while we have the Pack-a-Punch 4 weapon out, this is the weapon that is in our melee slot. It should go without saying that you do not want to swap this weapon out for anything, because it is not going to go into your melee slot again. But some folks have had issues with that, or if you're using the same weapon, it can be difficult. So for instance, if you build the Wonder Weapon here on Liberty Falls, and you pick it up, you want to make sure that anytime you are picking up a weapon, you use the weapon that is your normal weapon. Your regular weapon should be in your hands when you do anything like build and pick up the jet gun, or when you do anything like buying a wall buy weapon. As long as you do not have your glitched weapon, your mule kick weapon out, when you do that, you will not swap the weapon out and you will be fine. The first time you may get away with it, because technically your first weapon is the weapon you brought in, and then the next weapon purchased should be a regular weapon, alright, off the wall. However, if you've already picked up another weapon and filled your second weapon slot, it will change out whatever weapon it is in your hands when you actually either buy, pick up, whatever, another weapon. So keep that in mind. Alright, so we're back here at the lobby, and you can see that my loadout is still set. I can go ahead and change whatever weapon that I want to, work on a different weapon as the primary weapon, and I will still be able to go into another match with my glitched out increased damage weapon. Alright, time to clear up some of the misunderstandings. So you cannot save and quit with this. I can go in, I can reload my save file for the game I was just in, and as shown at the end of the previous video, I will not have the increased damage weapon. That breaks the glitch. This is one and done. You can use it for every lobby you go into, but you can only use it that first time you go into the lobby. Now, just to show where I'm getting these questions from, a lot of these questions are coming from the comments posted on my previous video, like this person here, who said that the glitch worked last night, but trying in the morning, and it did not work. That's because, again, if you save the game, and then you quit and come back, it breaks the mule kick glitch. We also have folks asking about it works, but the weapon has no attachments. Why is that? Again, this has been answered, and I answered it myself, where it has to be a blueprint to keep the base attachments. However, we're just going over this for folks that have the issue. This gentleman had the issue I talked about earlier about with the jet gun, and unfortunately, he must have had the mule kick gun or the glitched weapon out and swapped it out with the jet gun. So there's a lot of people having issues. This person is having an issue with build options. So whenever he goes to put a camo on it, he can't actually duplicate the weapon. Let's go ahead and answer that particular question. So one thing that can glitch out is folks not having the option period to put a build option screen up there. So if we look at my Teddy is a liar right here, I have the option to press Y to pull up the build options. If we look at Liar's Gambit, I simply don't have that option. The reason why I don't have that option is quite simply due to the fact that this blueprint has never been customized. So in order to get that option, what I would need to do is equip the gun, open gunsmithing, equip a camo to it, and then I can very easily remove the applied camo so that I don't have to worry about like changing the look of it if I didn't want to. And now when I go into that weapon category, we have the build option. So very easy to get the build option to appear. If you have the second version of this where you duplicate it, but you don't actually get the duplicate weapon, or you simply have nothing happen at all, then more than likely what is happening is you have too many weapon blueprint duplicates. So if you go and you make a bunch of these duplicates, like I can literally just keep going in, I can equip the weapon if I want to, or maybe I'm doing the MW2 to MW3 to Black Ops 6 weapon camo dupes, or maybe you're doing the account to account blueprint dupes, or maybe you just made a whole bunch of different variants. What will happen is eventually you will get to the point where you cannot distinguish between the real blueprint and duplicated blueprints, and the game just will not let you actually duplicate more blueprints. If that happens, what you need to do is you need to delete some of the weapon blueprints that you have. You want to obviously delete, ones that you're not going to use. So if you've been using this glitch several times and you have a bunch of weapon, blueprints that are duplicates, go ahead and get rid of those. You do not need to keep all of these weapon duplicates. So just only keep the bare minimum for the ones that you're using, and then you're not going to run into this particular problem. This is another problem that people have had. So this person bought the GS45 off the wall, and the melee GS45 still had 0 magazine ammo. Did I miss something? That's actually an excellent question, and this was brought up by a couple of different users in my comment section. So I was going through it with, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce this guy's name. It's just a pair of eyes. But basically we figured out that if you are using a ammo type, so specifically like the FMJ or overpressured rounds, then if that is not on your zombies build, the ammo pool will not be shared. So for this example, I'm going to go in, I'm going to show you what my zombies build, and I recommend you have a zombies build, otherwise they could potentially be a problem. But my zombies build for my GS45s uses rapid fire. I always use rapid fire or recoil springs on everything, but if I put FMJ on as my zombies build, and again we have this marked as our zombies build, and then you can see what the Tide Turner has. The Tide Turner does not have a fire mod. So if the fire mod is different for what your zombies build is, as far as a different ammo type than what your weapon blueprint ammo type is, the ammo pool will not be shared. Alright, here we are back in the game. You can see I just brought in my pistol and hold down on the melee button, and now I have the same weapon, my GS45s. Alright, this is the blueprint, the Tide Turner blueprint. I have no spare ammo for it, and what I'm going to do to eliminate any chance of losing that weapon, I'm not going to have the mule kick weapon out when I either pick up a weapon or buy a wall buy weapon, but I want that cheap ammo, so I'm going to go ahead and buy the GS45s. You notice I bought them off the wall. I have full ammo for them. I have full reserve ammo. If we pull out our Tide Turner, I do not have any additional ammo for it, and that is because the Tide Turner does not have a ammo mod, whereas my zombies build has the FMJ rounds on it. So make sure that if you are going to use a zombies loadout in the first place, that's perfectly fine. Use a zombies loadout, but do not equip FMJ or overpressure rounds to it. Make sure that you are using either no ammo mod, recoil springs, fire rate, or if you're using a blueprint that has a specific ammo mod, FMJ or overpressured rounds equipped, make sure that your zombies build has the exact same fire type mod on it. That way, when you buy it off the wall, you'll have the whole same ammo pool. It's really weird, and shout out to Mr. Eyes, as I showed. It was actually his comment that brought that up to my attention to figure out exactly what was going on with why people could not share the ammo pool. So I showed you exactly how to do the mule kick glitch, and hopefully this should answer any questions that anybody had. You cannot pick up another melee weapon if you swap the weapon that is in your mule kick glitch slot or the melee weapon slot out with another weapon. Both of those things will just break the glitch. If you want the cheap ammo, you need to make sure that your zombies build has the same fire mod, not a different type of ammo equipped to it. And I showed how to fix the issue of not having the duplicate or build option screen available, and I showed the issue of what to do if you have that screen available, but unfortunately you just don't get the duplicate blueprint. So that's a very easy fix. It just means that you have too many blueprints in the first place. So again, hopefully the information helps you out. I know this has been a little bit confusing, and a lot of folks wanted to take advantage of this during the double XP event. So let me know if you found the video helpful. Maybe leave a like on it, nice spicy comment, help the channel grow. Till next time, my brothers and sisters, thy legion, stay frosty.